All right, welcome back to episode 3 of the Green Line Gazette podcast. Today I'm joined by two good friends, Nolan and Carson. We're going to be breaking down the round of 64, round of 32, and then getting into some Sweet 16 previews. We're going to be going from favorite games to our worst bracket choices, and we got a little fan mail segments submitted by the viewers. So we have some pretty interesting questions. Not super serious from the viewers, I got to say, but we'll get into that later. For now, I'll let Nolan introduce himself before we get rolling.
What's up, Green Line Gazette faithful? I'm Nolan Otto. I'm here reporting live from the 349th ranked KenPom team in the country, University of New Hampshire. Big college basketball fan. I had the privilege of watching all the games from Punta Cana over spring break, so I'm really locked in on that. And I'm a Hoosiers fan, IU fan, Big Ten guy, so my biases might be there, and got a lot of sizzling hot takes here, so I'm excited.
Who's your favorite baseball team? Because I don't think we can
Oh,
tell.
this whole thing, yeah, I think it's opening day tonight. Yeah.
Okay. There
Hey
you go.
guys, I'm Carson. I am reporting from the Belchtown, Massachusetts, where we're all from here, and I am a Kentucky fan, so I bet you can all guess where my favorite game is headed for this week.
That's right.
All right, bang. So I guess we'll start right. Favorite games from the round of any round. If any of you guys want to go first, you can take it. If not,
I'll take the lead
I'm
here,
ready to
yeah.
go. All right.
So first game, obviously, Kentucky Santa Clara. One of the more historic shots in March Madness history, I would say. That's just more coming from a Kentucky fan. I would say I was thrilled to see that shot fall live. It's crazy to witness when it happens for your team. You see them here and there. But half-court buzzer beaters doesn't get much better than that. And then going on to win in overtime, convincing overtime win and for Kentucky there. That was pretty cool to see. They kind of just didn't let off the gas and stayed locked in there. Second game I wanted to bring up is the VCU and University of North Carolina game. That game, everyone thought that was out of hand there towards the end. UNC built a 19-point lead. And I was sitting here with my buddy watching the games, and we were just talking like the headline for this game is going to be UNC blows 19-point lead in historic comeback. And sure enough, VCU, they stepped on the gas. They brought all the energy at the end of the game, took it all the way to overtime, and then same thing there. They won in overtime as well. And then my third and final game that I wanted to shout out for these first two rounds here, the round of 32 game would be Nebraska and Vanderbilt. Nebraska has they started real high. It was 19 or 20-0, and then they kind of hit a skid, so people were a little nervous about them coming into the tournament. But they've proven these first two rounds that they're here to stay and they belong. First tournament wins for them in history, in tournament history, I should say. And almost lost in a heartbreaker there to Vanderbilt. That shot, if you look at a standstill picture of it, was halfway in the rim. So that could have fallen, and then their season would have been over. But luckily, we get to see Nebraska, hopefully for a couple more games going forward, because I think they're the real deal. And now they don't have Florida coming up; they have Iowa instead. That's a much more favorable matchup for them, just because they are undersized, and Florida is among the tallest teams in the nation there. So they got Iowa, should be a good one coming up for them.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta say that Iowa Nebraska game's got to be like the most rowdy crowd.
Oh my God.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, because what is it? Iowa hasn't been to the Sweet 16 since what? Is it like 99 or 98 or
99,
something?
Yeah.
And then Nebraska's never won a tournament game until like this year.
And, I mean, I know they're lousy basketball teams, but that's the rivalry. Like, those two are rivals.
Right.
Like, it means something. This is their third time playing this year. Yeah, that'll.
I'm sure Iowa had some heart to beat Florida just to make sure they could play these guys again. And not to mention, actually, the star on Nebraska, Price Sanford, went to Iowa before, so he's got a lot on this game here. He can't let this one fall.
Carson, I don't know if I'm a prisoner of the moment when I was watching that game, the Nebraska Vanderbilt game, but I felt like I had just watched the last 2 minutes of basketball of my life. That was unbelievable. So back and forth. And
Yeah.
to say that he missed a half court shot is such an understatement. That ball was touching the bottom of the net.
That's what I said. Yeah, I mean, you look at it again, a standstill picture, and you'd say, "Oh, that shot went in."
Right.
Like Vanderbilt won the game on that. real heartbreaker way to lose, let me tell you, because they only had a couple seconds left, enough time for one dribble. He hooked up a prayer, Tyler Tanner did, and very, very unfortunate that that one didn't fall through the
Yeah,
hoop.
I mean, Tyler Tanner is inches away from being like, a March Madness hero for decades. Like, that's a little short guard from Vanderbilt. I mean, hitting a half court shot. Everyone will be talking about him for decades, and now
Yeah,
he's
and
forgotten history.
instead we're talking about the sixth man on Nebraska, Braden Frager, making a game-winning layup for
Right.
that matter. So
Right.
that's crazy how quickly things can turn like that.
Also,
It,
go ahead, Luke.
go ahead. No,
All
you
right.
got it.
Do you think? I know you saw Hubert Davis got fired today. If UNC doesn't blow that lead, they make it to the round of 32, lose there. Does he live to see another day, or was he? I think he was out no matter what.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if you guys saw the video after the game. Like the whole athletic, there was the AD, assistant AD, and then his whole like cabinet were like waiting for him in the tunnel. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
that just kind of tells me like if it wasn't a good run, like you were gone. I mean right, but
Right.
that's the UNC. Like, there's a standard there.
Right.
I mean, it's not like this isn't Boston College or UNH. Like, if you go to UNC, right, you got to win, right? And he
Yeah.
wasn't doing that, so I think. I mean, I'll ask you guys. I mean, how deep of a run do you think he would have to like save
Well,
his job?
I mean, to be fair, give him credit. Caleb Wilson was not playing, but
Okay. I mean, yeah, when you are missing your best
right.
player,
But
like,
I mean, all year
fair.
he's been on the hot seat. I think this is, I mean, not a very well researched podcast here, but I think this is 3 straight, either first round or round of 32 exits. And the first year when they made the Natty, they shouldn't have even made the tournament. I mean, they were a 9 seed, and it was like kind of BS they got in the first place, and that was his first year. They got hot. He was handpicked by Roy, and Roy Williams still goes to all the games. So, I'm not sure this was a match made in heaven. I was reading earlier that he refused to hire a general manager for the NIL. So I think maybe the game had already passed him by in year 4 of him coaching. So yeah, I don't know, Luke. I think they would have had to, make it pretty far. It seems like I didn't watch that video, but that sounds to me like they were out on him anyways.
Yeah, and, basketball's a team game at the end of the day. Your best player going down, it sucks, but it happens. Like, it happens. It's happening right now to Iowa State, and they just throttled Kentucky without their best player, right? So basketball is a team game. You can't blame one player going down on a bad run. And he would have, I agree with Nolan there, he would have had to make a very deep run to even have a chance at saving his own job.
Yeah, I mean, and it's super interesting too what you just said, like with the GM thing. I mean, we're gonna get into this later on the show with NIL and how this is evolving, but it's such a new dynamic, right? That like it's like if you're the head coach, you're not even like top dog anymore. Like
Right.
like you used to be. All right, maybe the AD's got more pull than me, whatever. Like now you have like basketball ops, you have general managers, you have assistant GMs, you have like some schools have like guys who specifically work with like the NIL, like. When you're the head coach, like especially at UNC and what it's like such a big brand, like, I mean, if you're Davis, yeah, like, I mean, it's probably hard to adjust to not
Right.
being like the loudest person in the room anymore. So I guess we'll head it over to Nolan. What do you got for your favorite games? What are you going to talk about?
Yeah, I mean, Vandy, Nebraska was certainly my favorite game. But I'll say I really enjoyed High Point, Wisconsin. I mean, that should kind of tell what kind of like what I'm in this for. I mean, upsets. Yeah, I mean, I didn't pick that game. I believe someone on this podcast might have picked Wisconsin won it all. We'll get into that later. But
Me?
yeah. I mean, that was cool. The thing is, High Point. I don't know if you guys have done your research here. They're not a flash in the pan. I mean, we're talking NIL and we're gonna keep talking about it, but like they are up there with anyone in NIL. So they're able to go out there and get those shooters. I mean, that story, and I know it was all over everyone's feeds, but that kid who had shot like 0 for 6 on 2 all year, and then like 50% from 3 off the bench, and then scores the game-winning bucket on a layup that he probably traveled on. It was clear because never even put the ball on the floor all year. So, yeah, that was maybe my favorite game besides that. Kansas St. John's was fun. That was just about the closest game. Another cool moment there where that I can't remember his name. Is it Darling?
Yeah, Dylan Darling.
Who hadn't scored a bucket all game. Calls Patino off. Tells him run power. So go ISO. Goes get a bucket. Patino calls him church bells. But my problem with the end of that game is, I don't know if you guys remember, Kansas had, I think, 2 fouls. So they had 4 or 5 fouls to give. I can't remember exactly when it was.
They had 4 to give.
Right, and there was 13 seconds. And they used them all. And I get the logic there. I really do, to get the logic to bring the clock down and disrupt them. But then they get to the bonus with 4 seconds left, and now Kansas can't play defense. And that defender put his hands up like he couldn't foul him. You just used all your fouls. If you just, I understand the fouls they give. Why get to the bonus? Why not go bring it down to 5 seconds, and then you still have a foul to give, so you can get away with a foul? Now you're in the bonus. You foul him. Bill Self lost in that game. That's right. He got outcoached by Patino. I don't think Self should be in the hot seat. I've heard people say that, but outcoached by Patino. St. John's might be the Cinderella somehow with Rick Pitino as the coach. I don't know. I'd say those were the 2 games that intrigued me the most. Couple snoozers, couple blowouts, but yeah, I'd say those are my 2 favorite.
I mean, yeah.
What I want to bring in here about Bill Self is he's got a lot of off the court stuff going on too, with like the heart conditions he's got. He was in the hospital last season. He had to miss some games. So hot seat might be a kind of out there take, but who knows if he's gonna be able to coach again? If he can't coach, I'm sure it's gonna crush him mentally and all Kansas fans, because he is a great coach. One of the best coaches in history. But
yeah, right. So
yeah, and it's really gonna suck either way if he, ends up being if he has another down year next year and he ends up being on the hot seat, or if he medically retires after this year and just is forced to not continue with his team.
Yeah. I got one more game actually. I don't know if you're gonna bring this up, Luke. We can talk about it. Duke Siena. That was almost.
That's one of mine too.
Okay, go. You take it. Take it away.
No, you got it. I'll tag out. We got the. We'll bring up Duke's. What's this called? Evan Maya.
Evan Maya. So, yeah, he's this nerd that has this.
So maybe you could.
Pretty much every D1 program's using this website.
You want to interpret what you're? Can you see the screen here? Like what? I don't.
Yeah, I mean that's just like adjusted box plus. It's like net rating, like box plus minus. I'm no data analyst really, but I mean it's just so you can pay that. But
hey, well.
Yeah, the Duke Siena game. I mean, did Siena use one bench player?
No, 0.
0. Okay.
Oh, that technically won for 8 seconds at the end of the game.
So, yeah, they used 0. That. Who do you think's better, Siena's second best player or Duke's walk-on manager? I mean, I think it's pretty damn close, probably. So
it's. I mean, the way the coach played, I'm blanking on his name. He just got hired at Syracuse. I know he used to play there too.
Yeah.
But, I mean, if you play your starting 5 for an entire game, your bench has to be horrendous.
Horrible. Just horrible. Not an ounce of trust.
Horrible.
Yeah.
So, as much of a joke as that question sounds, I
don't think it's that far off.
You might have to take a Duke manager because.
Do you know what the worst thing for Siena in that game was? Was that there was a second half. There was more basketball to play. Because the more the game went on, the more fatigue those guys got. And then Duke, I don't know, you guys just saw Boozer just, could get at will in the paint at that point. So that was almost really. Yeah.
And I mean, it's like where I was telling everybody, I mean, I think it's I saw it on X too.
Everything app. All happening.
The everything app, because everything's happening there.
Yeah.
It was you guys, I don't know if you guys were watching, but that possession where they missed the back-to-back dunks.
Yeah.
They tried to poster the Duke players.
Right.
Was I love that. Good for you. They missed both of them. They can't get the board because they're exhausted. And then one of Duke's players just comes down and just throws it down. And Siena was still up 4 when that happened. Right. But
it was over at that point. I don't think they scored a field goal with in the last 4 or 5 minutes, but they still shot lights. They way outshot Duke from 3. Duke was horrendous from 3. all they could do was.
And you do got to give them credit for hanging around for as
yeah.
long as they did. I mean, even fresh legs in the beginning of the game, Siena has no business running with Duke for as long as they did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous. Like, I actually couldn't believe what I was watching. Like, absolutely insane. But, I mean, yeah, like, I admittedly, I mean, maybe you guys have. I haven't watched that much Siena basketball
I
this
had to
year.
look them up.
That was my first
Can't
game
say,
watching.
yeah, that makes three of us there.
So, like, I haven't, like, I don't know, like, I'd assume they had just played their bench in the regular season. Like, I don't think this is a viable strategy for, like, a 30-plus game season. But, I mean, I was a little upset with their coach. I was like, how do you not sub out these? Like,
I think you're right. Like, I'm not there in practice, so I mean, I think
Yeah.
that those guys just must be unplayable.
But it's like there was, I think, with like kind of, I started to notice it with like 10 minutes left in that second half that their coach was telling them like stop going for the offensive board, and he was just waving them back.
Really?
Because to not get beat in transition. Like if your team is that tired, like make this, even if it's for like 2 minutes, just get a guy in just to give him a breather.
I think
Right,
every
yeah.
team like that's goal is to just outshoot them, and they did outshoot them. There was just too much basketball. So,
Yeah.
Luke, I just popped in the chat that website I was telling you about. If you want to, might
Perfect.
be more user
I
friendly.
mean, you can see on the screen right now what Duke shot 5 for 26.
yeah,
Like,
Right.
oh.
Also very unlike them. So if they had shot better, during that game, especially in the beginning, I don't think this game would be talked about as much as it is. They also had a very poor shooting night, so.
Yeah, let me see if I can. Let's pull up this new website.
it's a new era
You
of
can kind of
analytics.
walk me through it here. 'Cause
Yeah.
so what is this? Just more advanced?
It's just in
Is that what we're looking
in
at?
net ratings and stuff. I don't know the formula behind it, but they tell me who's good and who's bad.
Well, it's saying Cam Boozer's the MVP of the
That
highest
day,
total net points.
you can
I mean,
toggle based on the day there. So
Okay.
for each day of the games. So this is the day of the Duke Siena game. Or I think what day are you on?
321.
So you're on the day
so-
of the Duke over Duke played in the second round. I don't remember.
Yeah,
They just
but
took
I mean,
down TCU.
ECU. That's right.
But I mean,
Snoozing.
I had that game too.
Yeah.
Like the Duke Siena. I really thought it was gonna happen.
What were your other
I mean,
good favorite games?
I also took the High Point game. I loved that. I thought that was electric. Like 99, right? First 2-pointer all year. Happens to be the game-winning layup. I know you guys saw this. I was like seething when I saw what Wisconsin did with their last possession.
Horde.
You take your smallest guard and you drive into the paint with two big men and just get it swatted. Like I was baffled. And they had 12 seconds to do
There was time.
something.
Yeah.
And that's how you end your season. I was like,
And he's got that like pull up mid range jumper in his bag. I don't know what the thought process was to just go at him and try to draw a foul, but like not that he even tried to draw one, he just like faded away and tossed up a prayer and got blocked. There would have been probably, hundreds of other different scenarios that would have been better than what he did.
yeah. I mean, it was ridiculous. I was
And Boyd's a great player too. Like he knows better than to do that. Like that was rule number one. I'm sure the coach chewed him out after too.
I feel like you have to. Like
Yeah.
I mean, with a final possession like that, like really? I mean, so a fitting end, I would say, I guess, to Wisconsin season because I mean, we'll talk about this later. I heard sounds like one of you, I think Carson had them going, maybe they were going the distance. I don't know.
I did.
My Final Four. But it's the story of their season all year, right? They have those huge
Big wins.
quad one wins,
Yeah.
and then they just have these horrible losses, and this is just one of those horrible losses. I mean, yeah, High Point shot 43 pointers. Like that's in the college level.
That's what
absurd.
these teams'
absurd.
game plans are.
Yeah, just
That's becoming a
try and
common
outshoot them.
trend too. Yeah.
I mean, and that's how they lost the Arkansas game. But I mean, like you said, they live or die by
Right.
trying to outshoot the other. And I mean, it's smart, right? Like, I don't really like if you're High Point. Like, how else are you really going to beat a team
Exactly. Yeah.
like Wisconsin or like Arkansas, who are just like technically superior and a lot bigger than you? Like, right? You just gotta try and shoot the lights out. So, but yeah, I mean, I was on the edge of my seat for that game. I was upset again, right? Because I took Wisconsin, but what are you going to do about it? But I guess that'll segue us into our next segment for your guys' worst bracket choice. I think we've already
Touched on
figured out what
Wisconsin
two
enough.
of ours
Yeah.
are. Wisconsin, for me, I had them go to the Final Four. Disaster. I had Vanderbilt in my Final Four. Disaster. I watched the
Yikes.
SEC tournament. Hey, I was really
They,
high
they
on
looked
Vanderbilt.
great, yeah.
The
I mean,
SEC tournament, they looked awesome. And then, things happen, right?
and as Nolan said, that they were inches away from still being alive. They are inches away from playing Iowa. Tomorrow I think it is
Like
that
with
game going
a pretty
on.
good look at the Elite Eight. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we can laugh at it in retrospect, but there was a vision there. I did not foresee, I was really high because I obviously had them beating Florida. Like, in no world did I think Iowa was going to beat Florida, right? So I was
Along
really
with
high
most
on
people,
this-
I'm sure, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I was really high on that. I mean, we had one of our guests in the last episode, one of my roommates, he did take the Iowa upset, but we'll get into that. We have a fan mail question about numbers of brackets made and when it stops, becoming impressive. So we'll get into that later. But the last one I had, right, you got to be bold when you're making these brackets. Did I have BYU going far? Maybe. Like, I thought DeBanza was electric, and he is, right? Like, don't get me wrong. I think his team just sold him. Like, such a disservice. I mean, good for Texas, though, right? They got a shot to really do some damage, beating Gonzaga and all that. But, I mean, yeah. My bracket, I have a max of, 1,400 points. Like, it's
Brutal.
ugly. I have Iowa State winning it all, so... I mean,
They're not out.
Saving grace there, right? And then I have Michigan State as well. But, yeah, I mean, 1,400 points before the Sweet 16 starts is not
I'm not
pretty.
familiar with which app you're using, but March
Probably
Madness.
yours on ESPN, Luke. Yeah, it wasn't pretty.
yeah. yeah.
So what's the max points for ESPN bracket?
The, the leader is 1,900 right now
Yeah, so already
for
leads.
max points.
Okay, yeah, I gotcha.
So I had BYU in the Elite Eight as well.
Yep.
And the thing is, I didn't even think that. Like, I knew that wasn't... Like, Saunders is out for the year. Like, I, told myself going in, I don't like BYU. And then I just liked the path. So I liked AJ. He had 36 points and 1 assist. So, yeah.
Hard to do it all on your own there,
Right,
especially if
and
you're
the
him.
rest
I
of
mean,
the
you've been
team,
carrying the team.
maybe I might have had 35. Is my math right there? Yeah. So the rest of the team had 35 points. Yeah, I didn't think they were gonna do it, but I picked it just because I wanted to have some sort of 6th seed or whatever down there. Good season. I mean, I think he should have been Big 12 Player of the Year.
Are you saying good season for DeBanza or good season for BYU?
I mean, I guess is a 6th seed for BYU really much? I feel like they kind of hover around there anyways.
I mean, but you spent
$10 million.
$13 million.
Yeah. So
on-
no,
on
I'd say
a-
not a good season for BYU, probably.
Luke, if you want to pull up the preseason AP poll, I don't know if you got it on hand, but I think
I can
BYU,
search
if
that
I
for you.
recall correctly, was much higher than a 6th seed, or what a 6th seed would have been in the tournament.
I mean, yeah, they just spent a ridiculous. They can't even win the Big 12, right? You're losing to Texas Tech. Like,
That's the.
I think that's just a disaster.
That's the recent one. I think
Is this the recent?
you can
one?
hover to week. See where it says week 19 there.
How many ads can you put on a website challenge? Here we go, week 1. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, right, Carson.
BYU 8th. Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's shocking too. I mean, hey,
I will say, good job, AP letters. Good job.
they
Besides
do.
that,
Yeah, I mean, look at this. Look at all the way up till 7, 8, 9 whiff, 10,
JT
11.
Toppin, so
right?
I'll give them the benefit of that there.
Yeah, they had Iowa State.
Pretty damn good.
Auburn is a little shocking,
Creighton's
admittingly.
funny.
Michigan State low. But, I mean, yeah, like, in the preseason poll, being 8 and then spending the money you did and
Right. Yeah.
ending your season like that is,
I think they were
not impressive.
a 6 seed last year. I mean, I don't, like I said, not a great research podcast, but like I can remember them being around that range in recent years.
Right. Yeah. That is where they kind of usually hover there. And this season, obviously with AJ, they were supposed to be a lot better, and things panned out the way things usually do for BYU.
My other bad pick was I was a Miami, Ohio truther. I just really wanted to stick it to the man. I really wanted the SEC. I really wanted to just have everyone shut up. Bruce Pearl, I wanted him to shut up. I didn't think it was fair that they got a play-in. I mean, I think the games have to matter. I mean, next year I think KenPom should we just make the bracket in October. We just simulate to March.
We don't need to play games.
We don't play the games. It don't matter. But with that being said, the games clearly do matter because Miami, Ohio did not belong against the 6 seed Tennessee. So I had them going. I think Elite 8 or Sweet 16 or something.
You had Miami of Ohio in the Elite 8.
One of either second weekend. I mean, they were in the second weekend.
I mean, I will side with you though. Nobody, and we can get into this later too. Like when we talk about college athletics in general, nobody gets me more upset than people like Bruce Pearl.
Oh, he's the
like
worst.
The Paul Feinbaums of the world, like these SEC talking heads who get like prime seats on ESPN.
Right.
And like national television, and then they get to sit on their soapbox and say, well, 17 and 16 Auburn is way better, and they deserve it more than the 32 and now
who would I rather see?
Miami of Ohio.
Who would I rather watch? I don't care about Auburn. I don't. Those teams.
The Auburn team that was losing to South Alabama at halftime.
I don't want to see the team that lost half their games. I want to see
it's ridiculous.
The MAC team. Yeah.
The thing I want to piggyback on here about Miami of Ohio. They got the least favorable draw possible for them, which is Tennessee.
Of course.
Tennessee is the best offensive rebounding team in the
that.
nation.
Yeah.
And I actually, I disagree, Nolan, there. I think Miami of Ohio does still belong. I think if they got a slightly smaller team, they could have, had a game, like a high point game, and outshot them, and they might potentially still be alive. But the fact of going into the game, everyone knew Tennessee was going to score on every single possession solely because second, third chance points, stuff like that. They weren't going to be able to keep up with that.
Yeah, you're right on that. And the thing is with Miami's, I watched a good amount of them this year. I was like, really interested in it. They're not good. Like, stuff just happens in their favor all the time. I mean, I think they're 90th in KenPom. Like, not that that's the be all for me. I mean, it's not gospel, but I mean, they beat really bad teams in like overtime. They were winning like 109 to 108. Like it was insane. But the more insane thing was how this country in the landscape of college basketball has shifted. And I would be in fights on X as I do, and people
the everything app.
People weren't rooting for them. I'm like, what's changed in the country where this should be the team.
It was insane.
Everyone should.
I hate Miami. Like this team sucks. Like. They just when they beat Ohio, who is like their rival, who they haven't beaten at Ohio.
To cap off a perfect season.
15,
right, 20 years.
To cap, and they're like waving goodbye to the crowd. Everyone's like, this is horrible. I can't believe, they suck, blah, blah. I'm like, do you hate sports?
Seriously.
What is wrong with you?
They should be the poster of what college basketball's about. Like, honestly.
Yeah.
So,
no, they should.
That's why I was a prisoner of that. I was chasing a moment.
Sweet 16's a little crazy.
It was crazy.
I mean... That's ambitious.
I mean, they only lost one game. 2 games.
Yeah. To UMass.
Carson, who do you got?
Well, after they beat SMU, I kind of fell into the trap a little bit. I was like, all right, maybe this team is the real deal. But yeah, I'll go over mine quick here. My bad choice obviously is Wisconsin. I did have them winning it all. Kind of, back to what everyone was saying earlier about the fact that they can shoot the 3 ball at such a high clip. I thought that was going to be able to get them, especially through teams like Arizona or, who they like Arkansas last round, stuff like that. They were the only team that beat Michigan this year and played them close a second time. They almost won the second time too. And in my opinion, Michigan is far and away the best team left in the tournament. Maybe not far and away, I should say, but I'd say that there is a margin where Michigan is the best overall team. And the fact that Wisconsin kept it close with them, I thought that was going to be able to propel them all the way to a national championship.
Yeah, I mean, I was with you, dude. Like, they beat Illinois in the Big Ten tournament. They beat Purdue a week before. They destroyed Michigan State in February. What was it, like a 20? Like, it was ugly.
Killed them.
They
Yeah,
beat Illinois, like, earlier in the season, too. Like, I was shocked. They obviously beat Michigan, like you said. UCLA, who had a good run. Like, I couldn't believe it, dude. I don't blame you. Like, I can't.
Yeah, and there's no other team in the country that would take down all of those teams in the same season. So,
Yeah, tough stuff for Wisco. You got anything else?
that's it for me there. I think we're all set to actually move on to our Sweet 16 predictions here. Who wants to lead this one off?
I mean, we can bounce around. We'll go one at a time, I guess.
Sure.
I kind of already talked about it earlier, but I'm so excited to watch this Iowa, Nebraska game. Like, this is just like pure rivalry. Like, two teams who haven't been where they are, like, basically ever. Obviously, Iowa, right? It was 19.
Everything's on the line for both teams. Yeah.
Like, this is Midwestern pride.
Right.
This is bigger than basketball.
Iowa's coach, Ben McCullum, maybe the Kurtzik native college basketball, he was at some D2 school, and I think he won like 7 or 8 in a row conference tournaments, whatever conference that was. Goes to Drake, wins a run a 6-4 game last year, gets the Iowa job, goes further than whatever his name was there last year, McCaffrey. He was there for 25 years. He goes further than he's been in 25 years in his first year. He's from born and raised in Iowa. On the flip, Fred Hoiberg, Nebraska's coach, born and raised in Lincoln, Nebraska, he played or coached at Iowa State, who was Iowa's other rival. So this is this is as big.
This is real, man. It's gonna be awesome. Like, I think the crowd's gonna be going nuts.
Yeah. There's not the games in Houston. I don't think there's enough Busch Light in Houston
that's what I was gonna say.
to hold all those corn-fed Midwesterns. Yeah.
I mean, they should have audibled this game to the Midwest just to see how packed it get in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so it's gonna be. I mean, like, it's gonna be ridiculous. As who I'm rooting for, like, I could not care. Like, if either of these teams win. I mean, I low-key like Iowa a little more. Just like, I don't really like Nebraska football. Not that matters at all. Yeah. But, like, whoever wins here, like, it's good for them.
It's a shame they're meeting this early, I'd say.
Yeah.
We don't see more.
Like, if this was like an Elite Eight or like, oh, man.
Yeah.
But, yeah, like, Sweet 16, it's going to suck. One of them's going to have to go down.
Yeah.
I really like Iowa. Like, you just took down Florida. It was a pretty dominant performance.
Yeah, you're hot as you can get.
Best press break I've ever seen there, by the way, in that last play.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
So moving on to my first game.
So, Carson.
Yeah. I'll go into my first game that I'm excited for is the Duke St. John's game. And Duke is the number one team in the tournament, and they're not looking like it. They squeaked by Siena, and even against TCU, it took them 25 or so minutes of game time to even get started. The win was convincing, but the scoreboard doesn't do the justice of how close that game was for such a long time. And on the other side of the table there, we got St. John's. They've started 5 of the last 6 games they've played on 9 to 10-0 runs. So they're coming out and they're looking to punch you in the mouth right away, which is, Patino special right there. Get after them early, rattle them, and then we'll coast from there and win the game. So, and this St. John's team is nothing to overlook either. I mean, they have the pieces to get it done. And, Rick Pitino actually had a funny comment during the Kansas game where he was saying, the whole thing about they're letting us shoot and we're proving them right or something along those lines. But they can shoot the ball, and Dylan Darling will have more than 2 points next game. He's the starting point guard. That doesn't happen often. He's coming off a game winner, so he's gonna be ready to rock. And this St. John's team, in my opinion, I'm absolutely rooting for St. John's too. I think Duke is way overhyped. They are down one starter, I think, now. I think Igungba came back for last game, but Caleb Foster's out. And this St. John's team is hungry and ready to get a win, and they have the coach to do it too. I think Patino, in any circumstance, can outcoach John Shire.
Am I here? Are you saying you're picking them? You think they will win?
I think they will
All
win.
right,
I
I'm
think
with
they'll
it.
beat the Duke Blue Devils.
I'm with it.
Okay.
I like
I mean,
that
it's
take.
gonna be a high octane one. I mean, you look at the screen, like EO4 and Boozer, like both leading their teams in like the three major stats. Like
It's gonna be a big one in the paint for sure.
it's like it. I don't want to say the outcome's gonna depend on how well these guys play. Like maybe, but like, I guess because like Siena, like Boozer didn't play well, but I mean, right? It's Siena, doesn't really matter. But yeah, I'm riding with St. John's too. Like I like Patino in March. Duke's coach is weak. Like I don't know if you guys saw after the Siena game. Like he just like was like, yeah, like they outcoached us. They're out prepared. Our heads were elsewhere. I'm like, don't admit that, dude. Like just say like, you know.
I mean, he
like,
rubbed me the wrong
he
way
just looks so weak.
with the court storm and stuff. I'm not a Shire guy.
Yeah. What was the court storm? He claimed he got like assaulted or something.
Well, he
like,
thinks
a punch?
a couple years ago Flopowski got trampled at Wake Forest, and then this year at UNC he said they trampled him. Whatever, dude. I mean, win the game.
Yeah, if you don't want the court to storm, don't lose. Like
Right? Yeah, comes down to that.
So yeah, no sympathy for him. But Nolan, what do you got?
We'll pivot to a couple teams we haven't talked about. Michigan, Alabama. This is the biggest spread. I think it's 10.5. I know Aiden Holloway's in jail or whatever.
8.5 now, I guess.
8.5 it moves. Okay. I mean, I'm not picking Bama. I might even say Michigan might cover. I'm just really intrigued by both these teams. I mean, Alabama, Nate Oates' offense is so high octane. Like that's what they're known for. Go, 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 go. At the other end, Michigan's a buzzsaw. I mean, they have beat the crap out of literally everyone all year. But who are their hiccups? Purdue, Duke, and
Wisconsin.
Yeah, I don't see anyone stopping Michigan to the finals. But I'm just intrigued. That guy Latrell Wrightsell, I didn't know who he was, but you guys might. He looked like the best player on the court all the other day.
Yeah, he's been good all year actually. He kind of just rides under the radar because they have Philon and Holloway and the freshman there, Amari Allen. Reitzel, he can light it up if he gets his chance to shine. He is not afraid to shy away from the moment, or he won't shy away from the moment.
I saw Elliot Kadu, I believe, said Michigan's got 3 future All-Stars. I don't think that's the case, but I mean, that team is pretty damn close. I mean, they are loaded. I mean, Dusty May analytically constructed a perfect roster. That's, I think, their powerhouse for years to come. I mean, through December and January, we were having discussions that this is the best team ever. So,
right.
And I would hardly call like their losses hiccups. Like
right.
They're good team. It's not like they're taking the Wisconsin type of losses where you're losing to horrible teams.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, they are buzzsaw. Like, it's gonna be hard to pick, but I don't see how you can go against Michigan here. Like,
so actually, Luke, if we can pivot here and take care of one of the fan mail questions that we had, if you want to pull it up, actually, we got a question saying how can Alabama beat Michigan? My logic of the whole Wisconsin making the final or winning the national title, I love picking teams that can shoot the three. And Alabama is that team. They can win on the simple principle that 3 points is worth more than 2. I'm not saying they're going to win or that they're going to, have a lights out performance, but Nate Oates knows what's at stake here and what they need to do to win, and that is fire up threes as quickly and as efficiently as they possibly can. Crash the offensive glass. Look for second chance points. That's what they just did at Texas Tech, and they routed that team. I mean, Texas Tech's a great shooting team as well, but Alabama just came guns a-blazing into that game, and right from the get-go, they started on I don't even know what it was, 20-5 run, and just kept it steady from there.
I mean, yeah, if you look at the screen there, right, you have, how many guys is that? That's like...
6 guys,
that's like
35%.
6 guys north of 35, like 11 or 12 north of 30.
That's crazy.
Yeah, these guys are going to shoot the three.
Right.
And it's one of those things, like you can't really, you can kind of scheme for that defensively, but like if you're hitting your shots, like you're hitting your shots. Like,
right.
We already saw that, like you said, with High Point. Like, yeah, if Alabama gets hot, it's going to be a hard answer. But, Michigan can shoot the three, too. So.
Yeah, they
Michigan's
have
most
their
important
guys.
team. Yeah, it's tough.
This is going to be nuts. But I like that Alabama take. Like, if they can shoot the way they have been.
And also, not to mention, they have their backup center, Noah Williamson, 7-footer, came out of Bucknell last year. Didn't sniff the arc last year, and last game he shot 2 of 2 from the 3-point land. So,
March.
yeah, Nate Oates will coach his guy, every single player, to shoot the 3 ball, which is very beneficial because they'll be able to spread the floor better.
Looks like Dusty May's son, I would assume, is a pretty good shooter in his 6 games this year.
In his 6 games played with 0.7 points, 2 rebounds. Yeah, but look at that. Like Michigan, they're gonna do it too. So, I guess we can answer that, right? If that's the first fan mail, how it's gonna be beaten, right? I guess
Just outscore. That's all. That's how Bama beats everyone.
Right.
Scoring.
Don't play defense and put all.
Yeah, they're not going to beat them on the defensive end.
As for the result, though, I
tough.
like the take, but I can't see Michigan losing here.
Especially to an undersized Alabama team.
Yeah.
Who do you guys like in Sparty, UConn? Any Sparty believers? I think one of you is, right?
I'm a Sparty believer.
Is that your next game, Nolan?
I'm just,
or you just bring it?
Whatever.
Okay. Yeah.
Is that your next one? You can talk about it. Go for
it.
No,
I was just broadly asking. I've got Sparty. I don't think that. Like if you asked me to explain it, UConn is better at everything. Sparty is infamously for the last 26 years, ever since they won, can't shoot the 3 in March and can't turn the ball. Can't shoot the 3 period and can't turn the ball over. 2, I'd argue, pretty important things to do. But I don't know, man. Izzo's teams, they just rebound, they win. So
yeah, I picked MSU. I don't know. Like it's going to be a very even match. Like look, like Ken Pom 9-10 right there. Like this is about as even.
Oh, Sparty's higher. Interesting.
Yeah. It's super unfortunate. I guess before I get into it, super unfortunate that East region, there are 4 teams that deserve to be in, I would say, maybe even the Elite 8. Like, they just so happen you get St. John's, Duke, Connecticut, and MSU, all on the same side of the bracket.
Top 10. Yeah.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. How does that happen? I don't understand the bracket making.
And Kansas was in there too, Kansas is a team that could have done some damage.
Almost beat St. Right, we talked about it, the last shot. So, but yeah, as for why MSU, they're just electric. Cohen Carr, he gets them going. He's their
most fun player in the league, country. Yeah.
I spoke about this in episode 2. We talked about how Jeremy Fears rubs me the wrong way. Good player, I guess, but he can be hard to root for at times.
Especially when he's kicking people in the balls and doing all the extracurricular. Yeah.
Off the top of my head, he's probably, ignoring Braden Smith, the second best point guard in the country. Acuff maybe, but anyways, top 3 point guard in the country, best playmaker in the country. But he trips people, so he's Grayson Allen. So it'd be interesting to see if Michigan State versus Duke. Oh boy, who will I root for? Jeremy Fears or Duke? I don't know.
But that's what I'm saying. It's hard to deny his greatness and his impact on the court, right? That's why I have them winning. Yeah. I think Carr and Fears are the key here, and I think they play a similar game to St. John's, who we saw dismantled UConn in the Big East tournament by 20 points, 72-52. So for that reason, I'm rolling with State. But it's hard to root for a guy who's doing. Especially when he's been called out just time and time again. Izzo, same thing, and it just continues. It's shameless. Right. It's he's doing it to rub it in the faces of everyone. Look what I can get away with, while we win. So, we'll move on from that now. But yeah,
I mean, UConn's pretty good too. I mean, Sola Ball is like the best. I mean, not Sola Ball. What's this? What's the defender's name there, Carson? I'm blanking. Terrace Reed.
The big man?
Terrace Reed Jr. Yeah, I mean he's a
Yeah.
stopper, man. Yeah.
I mean, first round versus Furman, I think he had 30 and 27 was his stat
Yeah.
line. So,
So
you like hard to compete with that.
right.
Yeah, I mean that's absurd. Great coaching staff at UConn. We'll get into this later. Luke Murray, very close
Yeah.
to a Boston College move. I think
Uh-oh.
I would be ecstatic if that happens.
Big time.
Hurley, I mean the staff Hurley's compiled is like nothing short of amazing.
Are they the
They're,
best
they're,
culture?
yeah, that staff is going to be on a picture later
Yeah.
down the road with all these guys having head coach jobs, coaching against each other in the Elite Eight.
Yeah. It's gonna be like
2013
the
Redskins.
Saban Bama coaching.
Yeah,
tree.
that's
There's
it.
Exactly,
Kirby
yeah.
Smart and Lane Kiffin, and it's gonna
Yeah.
be like that. Like these are.
So is UConn the best brand and their best culture in college basketball right now?
Currently, I would say, yeah, hands down.
I mean,
I
if
mean,
you- yeah,
Duke, I
like,
guess, but
culture. What I think culture too, though, I'm thinking of like if you've ever been to stores like their arena, especially when they play. I hate when they play at the XL Center. I guess it's not
Yeah.
called the XL Center in Hartford anymore. Something else like People's Bank or something.
Yeah.
When they play in their on-campus arena, like it's nuts.
Yeah.
Like it is so loud, and that arena is not even built for like noise. It's like super old, but like as far as culture goes, like everybody is bought in there. They play great brand of basketball. Super easy to root with. Like I know people have their gripes with Hurley, big personality. Like I get it. Like I don't really love him, but I mean for the rest of the team in the program, like I thought, yeah, Duke close second, but I don't see a culture better than UConn.
I agree with that there.
Me too.
Luke, you can, go ahead, jump into if you got any other games you're on the lookout for.
Yeah, my last one, Tennessee, Iowa State. I already said I have Iowa State going all the way. This one for me is because in episode 2, our two guests very confidently said that, and this is a verbatim quote: Tennessee cannot shoot the three, they can't shoot from the paint, and they can't shoot from the line. Tennessee shot 46% from three, and 40% in their other game. They're shooting 43% from the arc. So I don't know where that take came from.
Carson, I'm sure you've watched a lot of Tennessee. What's the
I have, yeah. I can actually understand where they were coming from. Towards the end of the season, it was actually, I could say just in general that Jacoby Gillespie is a great point guard, and he, in my opinion, is the only shooter that they have. You know, Nate Ament can make a couple, Bishop Boswell, same thing, Ethan Berg. But the Tennessee not being able to shoot the three, Jacoby Gillespie alone has, he might be over 50% in March here. Dude cannot miss. I mean, he is electric, and I hate Tennessee, mind you. I'm a Kentucky fan. Like, this is the last thing I want to see is Tennessee going this far in the tournament. But, you know, if I was predicting how the round of 64 and round of 32 games would go, I would have probably had a similar take. And I think, not because, this is probably a little biased because I don't like Tennessee. I don't think they're that good. And I don't think they can shoot the ball. And I think this is a lucky stretch here they're having, which is going to come crumbling down against a very, very aggressive Iowa State defense. I mean, I just watched them force Kentucky to 20 turnovers. So I think this is going to come to a crumbling end for them here.
Yeah, I mean, well said. And I correct myself. It was 42 from three, and it was 46 in their previous game against, I think it was Tennessee State or something.
good amendment?
But yeah, I agree. I think this might be a lucky stretch. But I mean, right, this is March. I mean, who knows?
Right.
What
Lucky
happens?
stretch could go the whole way.
Yeah.
Right.
But then,
Yeah.
I mean, that's why I picked them, or that's why I picked this game, because Iowa State is shooting also like 44% from three in their last two games. Like, so like I'm very intrigued to see how this plays out. I mean, like you said, I was gonna talk on that Iowa State defense being aggressive, right? 20 turnovers. If they can get out and press and be in the face of Tennessee, I think I think Tennessee's going to struggle. But if both of these teams shoot 45% from three, like this game might well be over 200 total points like by the end of regulation. Like I think this game is going to be like a shooting fest, and I'm excited to watch that. So that's
So
why
I mean, I have not watched a lot of Tennessee basketball. I don't like the SEC. So my perception on them, the Rick Barnes era here, is they just play defense, right? I mean, like Zakai Ziegler, like that era, like they score 51 points and they just play defense. Is that not the case this year? I mean, I know they got
It
Nate.
is the case, yeah.
Okay.
They're still great on defense, but I think what's been slowing them down and why they were seeded so low is the offense. And back to what I was saying earlier, kind of that they're shooting lights out right now, which is something they haven't done all year. So maybe it's something Rick Barnes kicked him into shape for March for. But like Luke said, also like both teams have been shooting so well. Like this is expected to be a defensive battle, which could turn into whoever scores more points. Like it's going to come down to who has better offense is going to win the game. You know.
yeah, absolutely. Swing it over to you guys, see if you have any more.
Yeah, I'll take the stand here. I got another two teams we haven't talked about really at all is Illinois versus Houston. Debatably one of the best offenses left in the nation with Illinois and the best defense in the nation with Houston. This is going to be a battle fought on Houston's defensive end here, how they can limit Illinois' second chance points especially or take them out in the first place, and then because we know what Houston is capable of on offense, that they can get it done. And last season they had multiple games where against Duke they scored 7 points in 30 seconds, and same thing with Kansas. They can get the job done on the defensive end, and we just got to see how Illinois is gonna react to that one there.
Yeah, I've got Houston going all the way, so I'm intrigued here, and I've watched a lot of Illinois. I mean, Flemings versus I don't know how to say it. Is it Wagler? Wagler. That is, I mean, what you can ask for. I mean, two shifty guards, very similar play styles, honestly, just fast and quick guys. That's a great matchup. Houston, the unsung hero, and same thing last year. I love this guy, Carson. I think we've talked about this. Jojo Tugler. If you looked at his stats, you would say this guy stinks. He sucks. But if you just watch a Houston game and you see everything this guy does, I mean, he's the most indispensable player in the country, I think.
I think it was. Last year was his peak.
I don't think he's had any ounce of regression or progression, but
right, he's staying. He hit his ceiling, and he's kind of just hovering around there of like what he can do with shot blocking and even offensive rebound tipping, couple easy points there. But like without him, they would be in really rough shape.
Yeah, and Houston, like throughout the year was top 3, top 2, and then they ran into a gauntlet. I think it was Kansas, Arizona, Iowa State, just 3 in a row, bang, bang, bang. They dropped all 3. I mean, yeah, you obviously want to win one of those, but you can understand losing all 3 of those games. And besides that, they pitched a perfect game this year. I mean, yeah, I like Houston to go all the way. That's the game I'm most interested in as well. Who do you got there?
Yeah.
What do you guys got? Houston or Illinois?
I got Houston. Same reasons.
Yeah.
Illinois they're good, but Houston's like one of those like Michigan-esque teams that I see it really hard for someone, especially like, maybe if it's the regular season, right, you can drop games, like stuff happens, but in March when it's like do or die, like it's very hard for me to see someone coming in the way of Houston. So I'm going to be riding with them for sure.
Yeah, Houston's my, redoing the bracket right now, and I'm doing this after every round here. Houston is my national championship winner. Not that, nothing against Michigan here. I think obviously there's plenty of case for Michigan to win it all. But this Houston team, they are looking really hungry after last year's loss to Florida. And now that Florida's out, they have, an undoubtedly easier path to the championship game because their 1 seed in their region is already out. So,
yeah, I'll say for our the big sports betting listeners here, Illinois might be good value. I'm looking now. Gospel Wizard Ken Pomeroy has Illinois 6th. but they're undefeated. They're undefeated at 3, and they're 13th in the AP poll. So, I mean, they're only 2 spots back from Houston and KenPom, but I mean, I don't know what happened there. I mean, how far did Illinois go in the Big Ten tourney? Did Purdue beat them?
I don't remember off the top of my head.
Illinois got beat by Wisco.
Wisco, okay.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we went over that.
Interesting. It's interesting. I mean, their offense is just so potent. I think that must be why they're. I mean, what their defense is? 24th in defensive rating and second in offensive rating. So, I don't know. I mean, what's the spread there? Anyone know? Must be one point or two.
Should be able to.
I think both
It's
teams are
2.5.
minus.
Okay.
Yeah. Or okay. Yeah.
Might be value there.
Let's see. Yeah, Houston's minus 2.5. Illinois plus.
So Nolan, if we want to jump in here to the lock of the slate, is that what you got going on?
Well, I mean, real contradictory is the guy just said Houston's gonna win it all. My lock of the slate. Let me pull the spreads up quick. Oh, I got my lock of the slate. I got Arkansas. Arkansas money line. Yep, that's how I'm going. Not even spread. I'll take Arkansas money line over Arizona.
Bold take there. I like it though.
Keep it simple.
They have been red hot. You
Yeah.
know, won the SEC tournament and they look unstoppable. This is going to be a huge test for them, but I don't hate that pick at all.
I mean, nothing against. I think Arizona's nasty. I mean, complete Koa Pete, 2 ways. Toby Awaka, whatever his name is, best rebound in the country probably right now. Not even mention the Big 12 Player of the Year. But I mean, Acuff. I mean, I'm a prisoner of the moment, like I said, and he's polarized me. I've got them in the Final Four. So my lock is slate. I got Arkansas money line. Book it.
Fair enough. I know me and Carson, before the show we were talking, we ended up with the same lock of the slate. I mean, which should tell you something, right? Should tell you it's two guys who know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
I mean, besides that, Texas plus 7.5.
Love it.
What I've seen, taking down Gonzaga, BYU, like. This team's hot. They got the hot hand right now. I'm blanking. I think Carson. Who's Texas's point guard? The
Jordan Pope.
Yeah, I love that kid. Like electric. I would maybe go. I'll let you take this, Carson. But I maybe go as far to say as maybe Texas wins this game. But I definitely think if they don't win, it's within 7 points. I think no doubt. Like they're going to play them close. And hey, like. You know what? They might pull this off. I would not be surprised if they do.
I completely agree. I mean, I think this play-in game did Texas wonders against NC State, even though they squeaked by them at the very end. NC State's no slouch, and they got that warm-up, that practice game for the tournament. And, not that you take this with a grain of salt because I picked Wisconsin winning it all, but I do have Texas in my Elite Eight. I think this Texas team has some fight, some real grit to them that teams might not be ready for. They shoot a lot of free throws. They do a great job of drawing fouls, and they find a way to get games done. And this Purdue team that they're playing against, coming off a Big Ten title, same thing, similar to Arkansas. I think Purdue's too hyped up, though. I think it's this might be
Braden Smith was borderline unplayable last game. So
right, and it's at the end of the day, I believe in history repeating itself. Matt Painter in March, historically just terrible, and this could be Purdue's year again. They, like I said, are red hot. I just think that Texas is going to come out similar to the St. John's aspect, just try to punch them in the face early, get them rattled, and then the game will be tight from there. So that's where my mind was at when I picked Texas.
Yeah, and I was going to say that too. I don't trust Purdue in March. Like, horrible track record, right, as everybody knows. They won the Big Ten. Like, yeah, right, that's a hard conference to win, right? I'll give it to them.
The hardest.
I mean, the hardest, okay. We'll get to that later, but I don't trust them. Like, I have no, like, when I say I have no faith in them, I have, like, no faith in Purdue. So that's why I'm riding with Texas. Again, wouldn't be surprised if they take them down. We're going to go into fan mail now. Right, these are all questions, statements, or topics submitted by viewers of the show. So we thank you for that, for powering this segment. I guess we can start with, we've already kind of covered some, but we're going to go with, from a viewer, they're asking, is this tournament boring with no Cinderellas?
I will say I am so extreme in like the variance in my takes, high variance. So after day one, I had fired a couple texts off. This sucks. Like no upsets. And then I thought about it, and I think people like romanticize how frequent these upsets actually are and were. I mean, we got blessed with a couple like St. Peter's, that was cool. FDU, UMBC, Loyal Chicago, but like this tournament's been going. The 64 team format I think has been on for 40 years, and Villanova, who was not a big team at that point, won it all as an 8 seed that year, which deemed and kind of started the Cinderella. But I think Cinderellas exist. It just doesn't last very long. Like if you look at these teams, how many double seeds have made the Final Four? 7. I mean,
I think so.
I think like 7. Before UMBC, 16 seed and never won. So my point is, I think we've been blessed the past couple of years with a couple of big upsets, but it's not as common as people think. And, yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't call it boring. I mean, I spoke too soon. Like, I mean, the round of 32 was my favorite round of 32 I've ever watched. So.
Yeah, last round was awesome. Luke, you want to take this one here?
No, you got it.
I think this tournament's been great so far, and something I want to add to that, like, sure, it might be boring for now that there's no double-digit seeds making it far, but if you look at last year's Final Four with all 1 seeds, I mean, that was the best Final Four I think I've watched in my, like, as long as I can remember. So, like, the deeper we get into these runs, you know, this might be an unpopular opinion, but I don't want to see a 12-seeded High Point play Michigan. Like, sure, they can shoot the ball, they can be electric, but whoever comes out of that region, whether it's, you know, Arizona, Arkansas, Texas, or Purdue, is going to give whoever wins that, like Michigan's region, a hell of a better fight than some Cinderella team would. So I think it might be boring for now, but you got to see it through to the end. The teams that are the best for a reason, and it's awesome to see them play.
Yeah, I mean, it's seriously, March Madness is. I know we all like the moments, and I'm like talking about myself because that's what I want. But like, it's not as constant chaos as people think. Like, the favorites almost always win. I think 33 or no, it was like 40% of the time, 1 seed's been in the Final Four at least. Like that, it's going to happen.
Right.
Yeah, I wouldn't call it boring, and yeah, I think last year was the best Final Four I've ever seen. So.
I mean, and I would add to that too. Like, teams are seeded the way they are for a reason.
Right.
Like all 1 seed Final Four is not a bad thing. That just
right.
means the AP pollers and selection committee knew what they were talking about, right? So as far as boring too, like I couldn't agree less. Like that Vanderbilt game, what was that? The 4 and the 5 seed, like
right.
came down to, as we've said multiple times, like literally an inch. Just because there's no like double-digit number next to them does not make that less boring.
Right.
This has still been like an insane tournament. Like, yeah. And to your point, like I think people are spoiled. Like in recent memory, we've had a lot of deep runs. A lot of like, what the FDU game and the UMBC game are only 3 years apart. Like, yeah.
But the thing is, like, they don't. I think people like think about like the Doug Eater effect. Like everyone's like knows Doug Eater. If you look back, Doug Eater was a bench guy. Like, these teams aren't. I mean, St. Peter's went to Elite Eight. That's different. But like, they win 1 game. Like, who was Oakland's second game after they beat Kentucky? Did anyone remember?
I don't even remember.
I probably got their butts kicked. So that was
they got routed though.
That was a cool night. But what do I remember more? Like the Final Four that year, or who Oakland played in the round of 32? Jack Golke. I mean, I don't know. Whatever. With that being said, I still wish there was more upsets. But I would not call it boring.
I don't know. Maybe Carson. Maybe you feel a certain way, but has it? I feel like Kentucky's kind of been on the wrong end, right? St. Peter's,
and
Oakland.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, certainly no excuse to be on the wrong end at all. And you know, I was very vocal about Calipari leaving sooner than he did. You know, people called me crazy, like, "Oh, you don't want him gone. You don't want him gone." Sure, he brought the recruits, but if you look back at that, you know, the Oakland game and the St. Peter's game, the plays he had drawn up to win those games were terrible. And I'm not saying Mark Pope's much better. I'm kind of losing faith in him. We did have injuries this year, so sure, but Kentucky spent $22 million on a team this year to make it like to squeak past a Santa Clara team and get throttled by Iowa State. So they're high expectations for a team like that. You know, it's nice, but seemed to be very underwhelmed the past few years.
Yeah, I mean, fair enough. I mean, trying to think. Maybe Nolan, you could help me out. There's just a Big Ten team that spent upwards of, I believe, $20 million to opt out of the NIT tournament. Can we confirm this?
Is this a Hoosier joke?
I mean, it's not a joke. It's just I'm just wondering.
Fair point. Football school.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I will say this might help us. I mean, we might have to blend these conversations, NIL, kind of. But I saw the stat that people were kind of pointing to back-to-back years. Only the third time ever that no double-digit seed made the Sweet 16. And at first I was like, oh, that sucks. Like, NIL's ruining it. Then I thought about it. Is 2 years, and I took stats. I mean, 2 years is not enough of a sample size to be a trend. I mean, 2 out of
No
Well,
way.
isn't
Yeah.
Texas a double-digit seed technically?
mid-major.
They are, yeah.
Mid-major.
Oh, we're talking
Oh,
mid-major?
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
And Gonzaga counts in a lot of those years. Gonzaga is not a mid-major. I promise you that. I know they play in the West Coast Conference, but that's not a mid-major. So, I guess my question I think this one may be a fan mail question, but to you guys, do you think the NIL is going to continue to hurt mid-major, or kind of is the transfer portal worse, more affecting than NIL?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, so one of our viewers submitted, like, did NIL put the nail in the coffin for the mid-majors? And I want to agree. I'll take a little more nuanced take. Carson, I'll let you talk about the other stuff. But, I mean, I think you even see, like, the trickle-down effects. We already talked about Bruce Pearl, like, in the media. Like, mid-majors are already getting just slandered. And what was Bruce Pearl's reason? Well, all these guys on the roster, like, they just play this really tough schedule, but if you break it down, like, they're just better. Like, and of course they were all bought. Like, yeah, if you're like, dude,
His son coaches.
Miami just went 31-0 in the regular season, and there were real conversations whether they would make the tournament. Like, I think NIL is going to just right back to our last topic. Like, is there no Cinderellas? Like, I don't think you're gonna see like as many as we have. Like, I think NIL has killed the mid-majors. Every good player they get is hopping in the portal looking for money. Like, that's
not
the
to like
reality.
conspiracy theorize, but I mean you're blaming, like, not directly blaming, but like the media. Like, do you think? I can't sit up here and act like I know how NIL works. I don't think anyone does. My guess is they're somehow in cahoots with media.
Oh my God!
The big conferences.
Not that we would ever throw around conspiracy.
No,
theories.
that's not a conspiracy theorist podcast. I'm just saying. Yeah, I mean,
the curious listener maybe would inquire.
It's weird that they care so much. I mean, Bruce Pearl's different.
Yeah.
His son coaches Auburn, but it is weird so much that they are all of a sudden in this new NIL era that we don't like Cinderellas anymore, and the public's told to not root for the mid majors. Like, that's odd to me.
Yeah, and it's weird too. It's like all of a sudden the SEC secures a huge ESPN contract, and now all of a sudden the only media you see from ESPN is pro SEC, like
So,
football, basketball.
like,
again, not that we would
not just we're just talking
but
hypotheticals. But the transfer portal, I mean, I think maybe more damaging, because if anyone on a mid-major team, High Point's different because I brought up the NIL, but let's say Siena beat Duke. How many guys would be on that team next year on Siena?
Zero.
None.
None of them.
Yeah.
None.
And it's like it's not even mid majors. Like I would count Boston College as a mid major. Like I don't care if we're in a Power Four. Like we're just like the bottom of the barrel. Like teams like that. Like we already are losing. We had a redshirt freshman who just entered the portal today that was going to play. Like I understand we're in a head coaching search. Things happen, but yeah, mid majors and then the lower P4s. Like any player that shows any sort of promise is looking for the money.
Right.
And like. And that's a great point. Yeah, if Siena won, even if they didn't win, like I still think
they still might. Yeah.
Their point. I mean, right? Their coach just went to Syracuse, so like I would assume some of those guys will follow. Like that's different. Like that's always happened. But yeah, I mean, especially in March, any like performance you see from a mid-major star, like I would say little to no chance.
Are these guys like going to be backups at Big 12 schools? I mean. Where are these? I mean, it's not that these mid-major schools are poor. Like, where are the local businesses with NIL money, like, to let them play? You're going to play at that school. You're going to play basketball. I think there needs to be, and this is not an original thought. I took this from Calipari, Carson's guy. You can't. I don't think you should transfer until you're played, like until your junior senior year, right?
Yeah, I mean it's absurd.
Yeah, because they're not giving it a chance. Like. This is something I'm sure other people have thought about this, but there has to be some form of penalty for transferring. I think if you transfer, you need to have to sit a year out, lose a year of eligibility, and that's a risk you're willing to take. Like I don't want these guys transferring to different schools just because they want to jump ship.
Right. Before NIL and before the transfer portal was a thing, actually. Like, when someone would leave a school, you couldn't play there the next year. Who's the guy on Bama who got to play for Bama after he was in the G League? What's his name?
Oh, yeah. I mean, Charles Bediako. And he came back. That whole thing needs to get put to rest very quickly. Otherwise, this is going to get way out of hand. Yeah. Another thing I want to bring up about Miami, Ohio, them having an undefeated season I want to see if you're picking up what I'm putting down here, is the exact same thing as Michigan or Arizona having an undefeated season. What Travis Steele did, he didn't have any money for these guys, right. And he's playing against schools that also have no money. So like, he did an amazing job of building a team with little to no NIL money and having an undefeated season. There should be no question, even if they lost a regular season game, there should be no question they should make the tournament.
Yeah. Right. That's a great point because sorry to cut you off there, but
oh, you're good.
Been thinking about it. It's going to happen with coaches too. When big programs see coaches winning without the money, like that just like puts a light in their head. They're like, imagine if we gave this dude $20 million. Like, then what is he going to do when he can buy his roster?
Like, no shame on the coach either.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, money's money. You got to
exactly.
Get it, but and it's like I know you said it. Like, when you leave these mid majors, like, are you getting paid to be a backup? Like, yeah, kids are going to take that money, especially if these mid major kids who are pretty like you take 99 on High Point, one dimensional player can really only shoot the three. Are you going to make it to the NBA? No. Like, you're not. So you get your money when you can get it, and you get it now. And if that means sitting on the bench at Arizona, like, if you're going to get paid $1 million to sit on the bench, like, the kids are going to take it. It's not their fault.
Pretty damn good job.
I think it's an unanswerable question, though. Like, what will it take? This conversation's way above me, but there's going to be some sort of collection, like CBA, like, to regulate this. What will it take for someone to stay at a school? And I'm saying this as a very bad athlete in my 875 square foot or my 8 square foot apartment. I would rather play basketball than not if I had the ability to. I'd rather play 4 years at Towson than watch 4 at NC State. So,
well, with that being said, if you got offered the amount of money,
I'm saying that. I don't know what. Right.
But what I think is going to take into effect soon, and this would be very sad if this happens, would be like a salary cap for these schools, which would turn them into a pro league automatically. Right. If there's a salary cap on college sports, I mean, like, how did we even get to this point here? Like,
Yeah, it's scary. Why can't we pay him under the table anymore? Bring that back.
Yeah, come
yeah,
on.
exactly. Yeah,
Bring back
make it
SEC
illegal. Pay them under
greatness
the
when you
table.
could cheat and get away
Legally
with
do
it.
it.
No, but yeah, like I've heard. I don't know. I think maybe you guys have seen the clip. It was going viral on X, the everything app. But Luke Combs, a lot happening. Luke Combs, right, went to App State, and he was on like a podcast or something, and they're like, "What is it going to take for you to donate to App State?" And he was basically like, he talked about like one, they need to move down to the FCS combo for another time, but he's like, I want these players signing contracts that lock them in for 2, 3 X amount of years.
Yeah.
I think that's a great idea, but now it's what Carson said. Now we're just playing professional sports. Now it's not college
Right.
sports anymore. But like I'm struggling to see how you.
I don't think there is going back at this point, right? I mean, now they got a taste
I
of
think
it.
you've opened Pandora's box and it's over.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a
salary
huge
caps.
paradox. I mean, every statement contradicts itself because you can't have the perfect world now where we've let, but like the NIL stuff, it's legal now, so everybody just got to deal with it.
Yeah, and it's also like yeah, sure, you could salary cap. This would be really hard to do. What I'm going to explain, you could salary cap programs, but how do you regulate like external brand deals?
Right.
If AJ DeBansa wants to sign with Jordan, why should that be BYU's fault?
Well, that's the work.
Why should BYU pay
Right.
the price for having a good player who's trying to get his money? So what? You could be like, all right, every team can only spend $10 million, and then DeBansa, Boozer, whatever, make another $10 million on the side. Like it's, yeah.
So yeah, I guess to tie it back, I'm skeptical that this is this is not good for mid-majors. With that being said, I don't think that every year it's just going to be complete shock still. I mean, it's one basketball game. The ball can bounce a couple ways. Like, Siena almost won that game. Like, stuff can happen. So, sure, maybe it won't be as frequent as it was before, but at the same time, it wasn't even that frequent as before. It wasn't even already that frequent. So,
yeah. No, that's a great point. It was a good little NIL tangent that was going to happen, right? We love to yap about this.
Yeah.
Somebody said a viewer submitted for us an opinionated question. What or who, I don't know what the correct grammar there would be, but least favorite conference in basketball? It's a good question.
go ahead, Carson.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting to answer this one because I thought this was listed for a specific person. I could be wrong though. I'm assuming we're gonna pick Power 4 schools here, or Power 4 conferences, I should
Oh, you're not
say. So I'm gonna go. Well, Sun Belt's actually my favorite. I was gonna pick Georgia Southern to beat Duke if they played them, but I guess I'm gonna have to go with the ACC. Nothing really against the ACC. Like I said, I like Kentucky. A lot of SEC haters, but naturally I can't be a SEC hater. Big 12, Big 10, great conferences. ACC, I feel like it's just dropping off a little bit. Like they have Duke, they have UNC, Miami, Louisville, SMU. All those teams can make a run. I just don't see. I see them not disbanding, but like sitting on the back burner, if you will. It's SEC, Big 10, and Big 12 are the power 3, I'd say. Mainly, they get the at-large bids for the tournament, and ACC schools come around. A couple make the tournament, and then they kind of, as you saw with Miami, they're out in the second round. SMU got bounced in the first 4, I should say. Duke's kind of the only. UNC bounced in the first round, and then Duke's kind of the only one that's hanging around there.
I mean, 8 ACC teams made the tournament, and 1 is playing.
Yeah.
On the
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say I wasn't sure. I forget who else I'm missing, but
It's crazy how and obviously we're all 22 years old, so we weren't alive for it really. But the superiority, how it's changed. Forever, it was the ACC, the big, not always called the Big East, but the Big East, the Big 10. Those are the big 3. Big 12 and SEC were not known for basketball whatsoever until pretty much 2020. It's very
until the money started rolling.
it's new, yeah.
Very recent. So I guess that's
other than Kentucky, obviously.
Yeah, true.
But
But
there's one-offs in every conference.
yeah, I mean the ACC. I mean Virginia was good forever. NC State was good. Yeah. What I was gonna say here is, I think that the conference like battle, like the competition, and I contribute to it, but I'm tired of it. It's so obvious that those three are the best, and it varies year by year. A month ago, I bet we could say the SEC is the best conference. Looking at it right now, it's probably the Big Ten. Like it changes, and then 2020 to 2024, it was easily the Big 12. Anyways, my long-winded way of saying the SEC is the worst because they think they're the best. No one else thinks they're the best more than them.
They also
It
get
means
the
more.
preferential hand-holding treatment in every sport.
Every
which is-
sport.
Oh, stop it.
It's transcended.
Oh,
multiple
stop it.
lines. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a great take. I mean, I hate the SEC.
Yeah.
So, you got anything else on your SEC hate or?
No, I don't want to go in and ruin this podcast. Go on a tangent about it.
I'll share my screen here. Here's my hot take for conferences. My least favorite conference in college basketball. You're looking at it on the screen right here. I
three
think the
Midwest
WCC is a joke. And my least favorite thing, a lot of mid-major conferences do this, is this bracket style, where if you're like the 11 seed, you have to play like 6 games. Like what? The Sun Belt, like Georgia Southern. What? They won 6 games in a row or something? Like what?
Man, I wish they won so bad.
I will
but, like,
I will say this is news. This thing's news to me. It's an eyesore.
What kind of this is a joke of a bracket where
So
you
Gonzaga won
play-
2 games?
You can win 2 games. You can win your semifinal. You can win the final, and then you get to go to the NCAA tournament. Like
bullshit.
it is ridiculous, and it's so deliberately set up to protect the bigger teams. Because the last thing you want if you're the WCC is having a normal playoff bracket and then having Gonzaga or St. Mary's slip up, and all of a sudden you're sending Sacramento State to the NCAA tournament. Like you're gonna look like a joke.
Yeah.
But dude, their out of conference schedules are laughable. Their in conference schedule is laughable, and they got 3 teams in the tournament this year, and
Who did Santa Clara play this year? Anyone good outside of this?
like in the regular season.
Yeah, I mean, how the hell did they get a 3-bid conference? I'm not familiar with Santa Clara.
Let me we can.
Well, I
review
think
their
like I said,
games.
I'm not familiar with this bracket style, but that's a great take. That you're totally right. That's a complete protection. Not really for Gonzaga totally, but more for St. Mary's because, I mean, St. Mary's has gotten in the last couple years as well. But yeah, you're right. Imagine Wazoo or was that Pepperdine on the top left? Imagine Pepperdine
that's
runs the table.
Pepperdine.
Yeah, they lose out on
Let
a
me
ton
see.
of money.
Like, I think their best out of conference win. Like, is it Minnesota? Like, are we serious?
That quad 3. I mean, yeah,
Yeah, or is it McNeese State? Like,
tournament team.
what, you almost beat St. Louis? Like, is that like it is a this conference is a joke. I can't stand it. I can't stand how they do everything. I can't stand how it was a 3-bid conference this year and none of them are playing. Like the pick I was the most confident in my bracket was the A&M St. Mary's game. I didn't even think about it.
Yeah,
I was
that
like,
was.
Are you serious?
What I'm realizing might be most pathetic here is that the 2 living Pac-12 teams have like probably triple the money, and they do like the 2 of the worst teams in there. I guess Oregon State's fine, but like, how are they not dominating?
How is
Well,
Washington State losing to Portland State? I don't know.
Luke, actually, I got some good news for you. The reconfiguration of the Pac-12 coming back next year. Have you heard about that at all?
I know the Pac-12 is you. I'll let you talk because you sound like you know more than me. I've heard it's just the new Mountain West mixed with some WCC. So
Kind of, but yeah, I mean, I think it'll be better because Gonzaga's leaving, and I can't tell you all the teams that are going into that conference, but you know, Boise State, New Mexico State, these are tougher opponents than whoever the hell we have here on the screen. So I think Gonzaga's actually like their strength of schedule might go up for the first time in 50 years, where they're like going to have to play real teams, and yeah, they're going to get tested on a semi-regular basis. So I think whatever I'm looking at here, I mean, Pepperdine having to win 6 games in 6 days is it's impossible. They can't do it. They're going to be tired. Like that like how is this even? I didn't even know this bracket looked like this either. How is this a thing?
Yeah, it's
It's
crazy.
and a lot, like I said, a lot of like this is what the Sun Belt looks like. This is what a lot of these stupid mid-major conferences do to like protect their best teams, and I think it's so pathetic. Like, if your team, like, yeah, I guess it's a one and done bracket game, but if your team's losing in the first round, like if Gonzaga loses to Pepperdine, maybe we should have the revelation that Gonzaga doesn't belong in the NCAA tournament.
Shame on Gonzaga. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like, so yeah, this is. I was really excited to talk about this. This is my soapbox. I can't stand.
that's a great
conferences
take,
like
Luke.
the
I did not
ACC
expect
who
that.
do
Yeah.
this. Like,
I mean,
they're such
honestly, just go ahead and
losers.
get this thing off my screen. It's making me mad just looking at it.
Yeah, we're gonna
Like,
stop sharing it because it's like, dude, it's just so dumb. But we'll move on from that. I got a little too fired up there. Back to the fan mail. Let's see. What's another good one? We'll end with the bracket one, but second to last question, we're gonna go. Anonymous viewer says, why will they say will? Why will Michigan State win it all?
whoa, it's a bold take.
I'm gonna say they won't. Like, I'm not even gonna answer that. Like, they're not going to win. They're not going to win. Like, I see no world. I told you I like Cohen Carr. I like Fears. I think they're electric, but the field's too strong. I at the beginning, like when I made my bracket, I have them in my Final Four. Now, I don't think they're. I don't know. I don't know if they're gonna make it, man. I mean,
All right.
like,
That's part of March too, is looking at your bracket and reassessing like where teams are going to end up. And I think I agree with Luke. I had Michigan State in my Final Four too, but looking at it now, like now that we know that things are panned out, the 1, 2, 3, 5 in that region there, I mean they're maybe on par with those teams. I can't go as far as to say they're gonna beat two of the three of those teams.
yeah, and it's like it shakes out. Like, sure, unlucky for them, right? So you have to play UConn, who is just a different animal in March under Hurley, right? Like, exceeding expectations. Always they look really good right now. Say you can beat UConn, which is one of the things I could see happening. Then you either play the giant that is Duke, who I think will embarrass you, or you have to play St. John's, who just beat you by 20 points in your conference tournament. I I don't see a path for MSU here, unfortunately. I know our viewer will be upset about
I'll give
that,
our
but
viewer
yeah,
a,
I'm not
I'll
answering the
say
question.
I'll answer it for our anonymous viewer.
You'll give
Uh,
him the truth.
I'll give him the truth. Yeah, good. um, Tom Izzo's on the verge of retirement. Tom Izzo is March. I mean, moments. This is so non-statistically and fundamentally backed, but just it's a going out party for one of March's finest coaches. He hasn't won in 26 years. Someone fact check me, but I don't know. I mean, he's on the verge. I mean, great bench. Trey Fort, that guy, right, Carson? He's pretty good off the bench. He had a good game. Cohen Carr, one of the most.
Yeah, I mean, he's Trey Fort's not like using the rotation terribly much, but I think going forward he'll be a good piece. But if we're talking about strictly this year, I don't. I'll let you talk here.
I
I'm
don't.
more on the page
I
of
don't know.
Luke.
I'm just
I
trying
don't
to
think
help
they
out.
can win.
Yeah, I mean,
It
great
was
guard play.
April 3rd, 2000. It's been
Yes,
26 years.
26 years.
Yeah.
That's correct.
So
That's correct.
yeah, I mean, Izzo's why. Izzo rebounding and good guard play with Fierce, or Fierce trips his way to the finals. That's a better answer.
They stumbled their way into the Final
Yeah.
Four. Yeah, I guess we'll just have to see. Right?
Grayson Allen in it.
That's
So yeah.
yeah. I mean, that's one of those regions that can just end literally in a multitude of ways that we have obviously no way of knowing now. Next question. We're going to talk about the Luke Murray situation after fan mail. I totally forgot about that. But last question from fan mail. Viewer says, are picking upsets and having good brackets impressive when you fill out many?
I'll take the lead on this one. I'm gonna say yes, it is still impressive because all it takes is one upset to ruin an entire bracket, and it's hard, extremely hard to know which one that's going to be, or guess I should say, because you don't know until it happens. But regardless, like I think I made, upwards of 15 brackets this year, like I do every year. Not a single one is in the top 1% or or like the 99th percentile. Like they're all so bad. So you could fill out 100 brackets in between Sunday and Thursday. And if you have one in the 99th percentile, ride that one. Like you made that bracket, you predicted the upsets, you did it right, and I think that's a huge achievement.
Uh, I'll
I
take the other
mean,
angle. I think.
I'm gonna take the other angle
I
too.
mean, I think on average, I've never once filled out multiple brackets, and I've been doing March Madness since 2010. And I'm horrible at it. So, I mean, whatever. But I think just like from a math standpoint, I think there's 12 upsets a year, which leaves us for six, just statistically, half of those have to happen in the first round. This year, how many upsets? We're not counting 9-8s. We're counting 7-10 or worse. How many upsets were there this year? And how many big ones? Like, say I made two brackets, and one of them picked High Point, one of them picked Wisconsin. Like, I'm not impressed by that. Like that, I guess if
Yeah.
that's the question. If I'm
And I
picking,
also
go
go ahead.
I'm just saying.
I also I'm gonna say it right now. I also don't count like the Texas game as an upset. If a team has $5 million in NIL money, like that is not an upset. That is just seeding happened to be the way it was. So I get off now.
Yeah, I guess it depends. I mean, Carson, like, are you picking like when you're 15 brackets? How much variance is there? Like, are you picking like completely different champion or completely different first round, or what are you doing different?
I mean, quite a bit. Some of them look similar in the first round, and then I get to Sweet 16, I change them up, or some of them the first round is entirely different. And there always seems to be the same brackets every year that I have one game. I'm like, all right, this is like a 2-15 game. Like the year Princeton beat Arizona, per se. I have Arizona in every single bracket going decently far up to the two
Yeah.
seed, and instantly all my brackets are busted. And it's like, I'm sure you making one bracket is the same thing. You're like, oh, that sucks. But I think if you get that along with all of the other games, that 1-2-15 game along with all the other games, you're in a great
Yeah,
spot.
I'll take your side there then. Deeper upsets, like first round upsets, not impressed because it's a coin toss. You can go down the line and pick each.
Yeah.
But I will say, picking runs. If you do that, sure, I'm impressed by that. But I think you saying that you make 15 brackets and each one stinks kind of just proves how hard this freaking thing is. Like how hard it
Right.
actually is
Yeah.
to pick upsets. So maybe I will. I'll change my tone a little. I'd say it is a little impressive. With that being said, I still just don't like the conflict of interest, like rooting against myself. So like I like to just make one, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I would go to my take is maybe I'll focus less on is it impressive. I have no respect for like fence sitters. Like I hate when people. I have a couple buddies here. They know who they are. They're listening. Who picked upsets in one of their bracket, but then in the other one they took like Wisconsin or whatever, or like they took High Point, and then they're parading around like, oh, I called it. I'm like, no, you didn't. Like, if you called it, every bracket would have this. Instead,
Right.
half
If
your
you
brackets have
picked both
Wisconsin,
sides, you're
half have
50%
High
right.
Point, and you're
Yeah.
just sitting on the fence waiting for the result. Like, so if you do a bunch of brackets, like. And I don't know, man. I find it hard
Oh,
to.
we'll
to
how about we
respect.
make? We'll,
I agree with you on that. Yeah, for
we
sure.
could get like a little quote from this podcast if we get like a little picture on your Instagram. If you're gonna hedge your bet, don't brag about it. Like own it. You know what I mean? Like if you picked
Yeah.
Wisconsin and one and High Point another, don't brag about your High Point if you picked Wisconsin. Don't if you don't.
Don't be a fence sitter.
There you go. Don't be
Don't be a
offensive.
fencer. I have no respect for people who just pick either outcome and they'll be like, "Well, I told you so." Whatever. All right. Well, that concludes fan mail. We're gonna go on last segment here. Developing story. Boston College basketball still in search season. It's been absolutely dragged out. Reports from inside the building came last week saying we were very close to a coach. That was 8 days ago. We still totally in the dark. Leading candidates right now: Luke Murray, Laranga. I think Gallo from Merrimack is now out of the running. We right now people are saying trusted sources within BC Athletics have leaked that Murray is very close to a deal. Nolan, I know you sent me the article, so you could talk about that in a sec. I'm hearing that Murray is forcing BC's hand. He wants $8 million in revenue sharing with the NIL, essentially saying like you will treat this basketball program as a Power 4 ACC school, or else I will not sign. Which I have to agree with. Like, I don't know how much you guys know about BC basketball, but it's an absolute joke right now. We lost to Central Connecticut State at home. I watched that game on a buzzer beater. We lost to Dartmouth last year, right, at home. We do not fund our basketball program properly. Our home games are empty, and I mean like empty. I'm not joking. Like, you can go look up. I will send you guys pictures after. They're empty. Like, it's a disgrace. So, I mean, I have to respect Luke Murray here, right, forcing our hand. I just don't trust I don't trust Father Leahy. I don't trust Blake James to give him the money he's asking for, which is ridiculous, because I don't know why we're pretending like BC can't finance this, like we're being cheap on purpose. So, little upsetting there. But, I mean, if we get Luke Murray, I'll be very happy. Great coach under Hurley, and that means our NIL budget's going up.
Yeah.
So
I don't know much. I'm tapped in on the Everything app because it's all happening there on X about
right,
the
everything happens.
athletic department a little bit and the misusing of their finances. Luke Murray, I mean, that's his name, right? Luke Murray?
Yeah, Luke Murray.
In my, like I said, well-researched podcast, I did a quick Google search. He was at Wagner. He was at Rhode Island. Spent time at Xavier. And now UConn. Wagner, Rhode Island, that's where Hurley was. So he's a Hurley disciple through and through for the last 16 years. So I will go on a limb and say any hire in that building, like we said, talking about the coaches, I mean, that might be a picture 10 years from now. I'd say any hire in the UConn building of Hurley disciple would be a good hire.
Yeah, I mean, gotta agree there. We'll see how that shakes out. I think this hire will determine the future of BC basketball. Like, I think there's a very real chance that I've talked about with some of my buddies here that BC, like if we're not going to invest in our athletics, we end up back in the Big East or we end up in the Patriot League. Like, we leave the ACC. That is not what I think anybody wants. Like, I wouldn't mind the Big East because I love the Big East. Great conference, but like, dude, if you're in the ACC, you got to get it together, man. Like, you got to be treated as such. But besides that tangent, I think, I mean, you guys got anything to say before we part ways?
Carson, who's your new champ?
Yeah, I went over it briefly earlier. I think Houston, they're coming out swinging. Kelvin Sampson, one of the coaches again, he's going to be on his way out soon, and he really wants a title before it's too late. And this Houston team, they have a bunch of returners, they have the experience, and I think they have what it takes to get it done.
Like it. I'm with it.
Yes, sir. I'm still riding Iowa State, still staying strong there. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, the last thing with Iowa State there is, obviously Joshua Jefferson's a huge piece they're missing right now. I don't know if there's been any new news on him, but I know if they win this week, at least he'll be back. I'm not sure if he's going to play this week yet. Or, sorry, not this week, but tomorrow or this Sweet 16 matchup. But if he's back, they certainly have a real chance to win it all.
Yeah, they've got that shooter. What's his name? Milan? He's good.
Milan Momcilovic.
Yeah.
He can light it up.
The guy, he can light it up. All right, well, that's it for now. Thanks for joining me, guys. This was a good chat. I'm sure we'll reconnect after this weekend slate is over, before the Elite Eight and Final Four. But that's all from now from episode 3 of the Green Line Gazette. Make sure you're subscribed on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram and Substack at the Green Line Gazette if you want more content. And we will see you episode 4 this Thursday. So thanks again, guys. Appreciate you coming on, and we'll chat soon.
Yeah, of course. Nice to be here.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.